Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to be providing another long-term update for PYR. We're going to talk about this key range and the fact that PYR has retested the range lows, and we've actually seen a pretty decent sized bounce off of that region. Again, the support right around $2.60. We'll talk about the resistance and the range highs if we do have some more follow through getting up to that level. And then we're also going to cover the 50-day moving average, which is this line in blue. So if you guys enjoyed the content, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Also, by the way, I will leave a link to my Twitter page in the description below. Feel free to go ahead and check that out. I'm fairly active over there as well. So with PYR, really what we've got going on is this longer term range with the resistance to range highs at $5.30 and then the support, the range lows, right around $2.60. And you can see that ever since PYR entered this range back here in May, we've really just been going back from the range highs, back down to the range lows, back to the highs, and just kind of continued that process. And we had a retest of the lows back in the end of November. And then since then, we have actually seen a pretty decent sized bounce off that range low area of support up around 21%. So at this point, it's going to be very important to see if PYR has some follow through and if we can get back above the 50 period average and eventually start to target these range highs once again, because the more and more retests that we have towards the resistance, the higher the likelihood that is to break. So if we do eventually get a breakout outside this range, that's going to be a great indication that we might have a longer term trend that is starting to form, because right now the trend is just going sideways. Again, that oscillation from the highs to the lows. So we really can't take away too much for PYR until we either get that breakout above the range highs, which would be a bullish sign, or if we do have a breakdown below the range lows, we could also look to that as some sort of longer term trend continuation of this bear market. And that would really happen, say, if we have a rejection at the 50 period average and we really start to see more and more retests again in this $2.60 zone. Now, something like that were to happen, the next level I'm going to be watching out for is around $2.15. And if I were to just zoom out here, you can see that was also a pretty key point right here back in 2021. That was a level of resistance for PYR with this local high. And then eventually PYR had that breakout right above that big zone of resistance, and then it had a retest about a week later, confirming this as support. And then from there, it really just went on this massive trend of forming higher highs and higher lows, and that was definitely a key pivot point for PYR all the way back here in 2021. So if we do have a breakdown of the range lows, which certainly doesn't have to happen, there is a probability in which we never actually get that breakdown. But if we were to get down there, this is the next level of support I would expect buyers and demand to start to step in. So beyond that, we also do have the resistance right at range highs, $5.30. Again, that is a level that we rejected at 3 previous times, with the first rejection right here in May, and then again in August, and then that rejection that we had at the beginning of November. This was also a key level going back to 2021. You can see that was the first major high for PYR. And at this point, PYR actually rejected by about 48% or so from that very key level of resistance. So that really tells me how strong of a level this was all the way back in 2021. And then we actually had a very positive reaction breaking out above this level, flipping that into support. So when we did break down and we flipped it right into resistance, it really established this as a key zone to watch out for supply and sellers starting to step in. So this is a very important level I will be watching out for into the next few months, especially if PYR does have some more follow through and more continuation off of this bounce right that we have at the $2.60 range lows. Now, lastly, I do want to talk about the fact that we do have a potential for a double bottom pattern forming, where we do have one retest right here in July, and then several months later, just a few weeks ago, we had that retest in November, just giving us that longer term double bottom structure. It's a very common pattern in a lot of other altcoins, and it's something that I'm going to be watching to play out. And it's a little bit clearer here on the weekly chart, so I'm going to switch the time frame over just to give you guys that illustration of, again, we have one low set right here in July, the bounce, the retest of support. And from here, what we want to see for this double bottom pattern to start to play out is a reclaim of these highs that we had all the way back in August, which also correspond to the highs from November and October. And that is, again, the resistance at the range high around $5.30. So I hope you guys did enjoy the content and the analysis. By the way, make sure to check out my Twitter page. I'll leave a link to that in the description below. As always, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.